2 million injuries and 1,300 deaths are caused each year as a result of domestic violence, according to clicktoempower.org. Among the things that are often caused by domestic violence are mental illnesses such as depression and PTSD, homelessness, or even, in some cases, suicide. These consequences could be avoided. However, many people who are victims of domestic violence are too afraid to reach out and tell someone about their situation.
This app provides them with a way to do that safely and securely. Our solution called Empower delivers a hotline for both child and adult victims of domestic abuse, providing the opportunity to ask for help or contact a professional.
Not only does this app allow a quick and efficient response to the situation at hand by contacting authorities immediately, but it also has many other features. It includes a version of a social network, a way of contacting professional help, and also when in constant contact with authorities, it allows for a more accurate description of the situation and can act as a journal of sorts for the victim. The feature of Empower acting as a social network can allow victims of domestic violence to speak to other victims so they can share their feelings or experiences and make the point that they are not alone.
Domestic violence can come in many forms and if not handled correctly can result in the situation becoming worse. For example, let's say we have a child who is being or has been abused by their parents and is too scared to call 911, and for good reason. Although calling 911 during some occasions can result in the child being taken out of their home to provide a positive impact, sometimes one simple call can result in negative consequence. The child makes the call and the police come to the site of violence, then provide a warning to the household since the parents claim that their child is lying and nothing occurred. After being warned and authorities leave, the child is punished even worse for attempting to receive help. The victim is then seen as the culprit. Our app allows a silent, risk-free way to contact authorities of the situation. The individual will record an exact description of the abuser's actions, which will help determine which steps authorities should implement next. Without having this knowledge ahead of time, improper or insufficient action is likely to take place, and the individual may even be punished for reaching out to trusting in child services.
As mentioned earlier, some 911 calls can improve the situation. Yet in some areas, calling 911 is seen as something you should never do, which makes it seem like the victim's fault rather than the authorities. In some areas, calling for a domestic violence report can result in this call being recorded as a nuisance. These areas claim that 3 calls to the authorities is equivalent to having 3 nuisances, and the homeowner can actually be evicted from their home. One known example is of a lady named Briggs that was abused by her boyfriend repeatedly, and she called twice to the authorities, but since there was no evidence, authorities did not do anything. Then her boyfriend abused her even more harshly. She did not want to call the authorities and told her neighbors not to call either because of the law which dictates that 3 nuisance reports would result in her home being taken away. She ended up receiving help and also went to court against this law. Well put, Briggs says. Use better judgment when it comes to what a nuisance really is, because somebody that's fighting for their life is not a nuisance.
Our app, Empower, will in the end allow a safe way to receive help in abusive situations. No one should ever feel frightened to receive help. Help us save the lives of thousands and ultimately stop the inhumane actions of others. Let's stop violence and aggression together with Empower.